Hello and welcome to DBSync. Thank you for joining in everyone today. My name is Keithan Desai and I manage partner alliances here at DBSync. Today we're going to look at the partner program that we've been scaling of late for quite some time in fact. I'm going to take you through a bit more details about how DBSync is placed in market, how a partner program has been scaling of late, and also I'm going to take you through some of the benefits of becoming a partner with DBSync. I hope you're all able to see my screen, and I'm going to start running you through some slides, starting with a bit of background about DBSync. To start off with, let me run you through who we are, how DBSync is placed in the market. So primarily, of course, DBSync is an iPaaS, a typical iPaaS, so to say. We integrate cloud apps with other cloud or on-premise applications. As we run through the presentation, you'll see more in detail of what are the partnerships that we currently have and some of the connectors that we have pre-built. To start off with, let me take you through the background. So DBSync, of course, as I mentioned, is an integration platform. We have both cloud and on-premise application or implementation of DBSync. By that, I mean you can use the cloud version of DBSync, or you can have DBSync locally hosted and use the on-premise version of DBSync. You may ask me, why, when you have cloud version, why should I go with an on-premise version of DBSync? And there are many use cases where the on-premise application of DBSync can be used. For example, a lot of our banking and financial clients use the on-premise version for security reasons. Of course, for confidentiality of data. Not that we store anything even on the cloud version, however, they prefer it, having it hosted locally. Some of the other use cases would be when you have very high volume of orders, or, especially with the e-commerce segment that we currently support. In those cases, when the order volume is very high, is when the on-premise version of DBSync might be useful, especially to avoid any latency issues coming in from your accounting or ERP applications. That being said, we've been placed in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. This would be the third year in a row since 2016. We're one of the first 10 companies to be incubated by Salesforce, and we've been technology partners with them. And pretty much the preferred choice of integration, especially when it comes to QuickBooks and accounting integration for Salesforce. As I mentioned, we're one of the first 10 companies to be incubated by Salesforce. Pretty much the best rated app for QuickBooks integration, and even our Salesforce application product is one of the best reviewed on App Exchange. We're headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. We have offices in San Francisco, California, and also an offshore development unit here in Bangalore, India. We have over 580 active DBSync customers using both versions of DBSync Cloud Workflow and Cloud Replication. And I'll take you through the product lines in a bit. So here you go. We have the product line here on the slide. First one being Cloud Workflow, which is pretty much the most used, as well as the most pretty much the most implemented. Cloud Workflow is our iPaaS and primarily used for integration purposes for your CRM, accounting, applications, ERPs, or even databases for that matter. We also have our Cloud Replication product line, which is primarily a data warehousing tool for your Salesforce data. We recently launched also the copy data management for Salesforce, which is also for your to manage your test data and for performing data migrations or troubleshooting any production issues within your Salesforce instance. That being said, let me run you through some of our key partners or some of the strategic alliances we currently have. Of course, the first one being Salesforce. We've been working with them for close to a decade now, and pretty much the choice of integration when it comes to Salesforce and accounting integrations and event replication. We are Microsoft Silver partners. We have a host of connectors for the Microsoft product line, from CRM to Dynamics GP, Dynamics NAV, and we're constantly upgrading also for databases SQL. We are Intuit partners and as well as Oracle partners with our Oracle DB support as well as NetSuite. We work with, in the field services segment, we have ServiceMax. We've been working with QVault, which is a warehouse management application, and so on. Of course, we work with a lot of Salesforce consulting shops to help with their clients' integration requirements. That being said, some of our key accounts that we currently hold, and pretty much this will give you a good idea of the kind of companies that we work with, and to the level of application or enterprise level application DBSync can support. Some of the big names we have here are Scotiabank, Philips Healthcare, World Bank uses DBSync. We've implemented DBSync replication for NetApp, Bank of Montreal, and so on. That being said, of course, the first question that comes in mind, why would you need a data integration tool like DBSync in the first place? So the question that comes to mind is your data usable? I mean, of course, we all use CRMs. We have our accounting applications, and we might have our databases, but how usable is that data? Say I have a lot of data on my Salesforce, but is it visible to my accounting, or do I need to feed in the data and basically have double data entry process to have all of the Salesforce data being moved into QuickBooks, which is where DBSync comes into the picture. DBSync allows you to integrate these applications. And of course, orchestrate your data. By orchestrated data, we mean you can set certain amount of rules or triggers or, of course, business processes, criteria, which would, on being fulfilled is only when the data will be synced over to the other application. For example, you might have a lot of leads within your Salesforce or any CRM for that matter. It could be Microsoft Dynamics CRM too. And that is where, DBSync comes into picture when it allows you to decide certain amount of rules or business processes, which upon being fulfilled would only be moved over into your accounting or database. So that is where you can orchestrate your data, you can transform data using DBSync, and there's just so much you can do. So with that being said, as I mentioned, you can set rules within DBSync and also customize your CRM for that matter, and set certain amount of rules upon which being fulfilled, DBSync would sync over that data into your accounting or ERP application of choice. On this slide, we have our core or engine architecture and IPOS architecture, so to say. And in the core of it all, it of course lies our engine. We have we support Swagger, and just so much you can do within adapters itself. You can build your own adapters within a matter of a week or two. And of course, we have pre-built connectors which are already being used by a lot of our clients. But if, say, for instance, you do not have the application that you're looking to integrate, or it might be an internal application you want to integrate your accounting with, you can build that particular connector for your internal app or any custom app that you're currently using DBSync engine, and integrate with your accounting or ERP application of choice. I won't go too much into detail since this is more to be focused on our partner program, but that is just to give you a graphical representation of what the DBSync core architecture looks like. And I'd be open to questions post this presentation if you have any questions. Here we have one of the most common use case, so to give you an idea, what we do when we talk about IPOS or the cloud workflow implementation, and some of the use cases that we have our customers using, pretty much day in, day out. So to start off with, this could be used as an example. You have your CRM leads being converted into an account is when you'd want to move it into your accounting, right? And once an opportunity is closed is when you'd ideally want to create an invoice within your accounting. So here is a typical use case. So you have your CRM account, which is being bidirectionally integrated with your accounting customer, and you could even create a customer within your accounting, and DBSync would create it within your CRM. But the ideal flow that we usually see is account or customer data being flowing in from your CRM. Next in line, you have your opportunity and opportunity line items, which are integrated with your accounting. You could generate a transaction of your choice. It could either be an estimate, sales order, sales receipt, invoice, credit memos, and so on. If you have a custom use case, we can implement that too based on your requirement. Next in line, of course, you have your products and items bidirectionally integrated. And lastly, you have towards the bottom right, you could build any custom module like your inventory management or purchase orders, vendor management within DBSync to basically integrate with between your CRM and accounting. So that's a typical use case, pretty much order to cash. With that being said, use case can be extended to however your requirement could be. And, once again, as I mentioned, I would like to focus more on the partner program here. And I just want to give you an example of what can be built using DBSync. So here you go. This is pretty much the slide which will give you a complete picture of what a partner program looks like. We have, of course, two set of partner programs. One being, of course, your simple referral partnership. Fairly straightforward. I'll go into details in a bit. And the second one being, of course, the reseller partnership. And there's some two key differences between these two partner programs. And let me run you through the referral partner program, how it's been laid out, and give you a bit of an overview. It's fairly straightforward. Of course, you sign up with us, as a referral partner. If you have a Salesforce consulting shop or a small, any form of consulting shop. Or you could even be a technology partner with us, but you don't necessarily want to get into the implementation piece of the integration, is where the referral partner is the most recommended. It's fairly straightforward. You sign up with us as a referral partner, and once everything is in place and you've been properly onboarded, which would be by me. You would be signed off and placed within our referral partner page as well, and you'd have a fair amount of visibility to our customers too as a referral partner with DBSync. Referral partners, of course, are entitled to commissions, and the standard commission amount is commission percentage is 10% for all referral opportunities that have been referred by you, and they close, and the commission is, of course, applicable on product licenses every time a deal is closed by your referral. The reseller partner, I'll of course get back to referral partner and take you through some of the details of it shortly. But with the reseller partner, of course, it stands alone, and it's a little different than referral partner. It's a more engaged partnership, so to say. So we have, of course, one of the first questions that come to mind is monetary benefits, but there's just so much more that we can do, as partners. First off, being, of course, you have a dedicated marketing program. By that we mean we work with you and see, where our technologies can synergize and run LinkedIn or even personalized marketing campaigns with you to see where both our technologies can synergize and present to our customers. Of course, as I mentioned, we've been in this space for over a decade now, and the amount of database we have would give you a very heavy visibility in the market. We have an implementation training program, so our team will take you through 2-hour training of DBSync, so to say. Could be you and your team, and run you through how you can build customizations on DBSync, how the standard implementations or configurations work, and pretty much anything and everything about DBSync, all the resources. Of course, as soon as you sign up, you have your onboarding kit, but we run you through in more detail of how to use our platform primarily. Of course, just like how for prospective clients works with referral partnership, same goes with reseller partnership. However, as you see on my screen here, the commission percentages vary. You are entitled to up to 30% of product license fees with the reseller partnership. And it's not just monetary benefits, but like I mentioned, there's just so much more we indulge in when we sign up our reseller partners, not just from the implementation standpoint, but to work with you and your team to actually build a product and, have a complete integrated system for your product or your cloud app for that matter. And of course, you have dedicated points of contact. You'd have a project team allocated every time there's an opportunity that comes in, and you can reach out to our support team, via email or phone, or even the live chat for that matter if you have any questions. And you pretty much have under 4 hours of response time. You'd have a response from our support team if you have any questions regarding implementation. As I mentioned, we will work, with you closely. There would just be so much, in terms of website presence or even marketing presence that we would work with you. There would be lead sharing, which would go both ways when you're a reseller partner. Not just we would expect you to refer clients to us, but even if there's a good fit, we would refer clients right back to you. As we see, we see it's a two-way lead referral partnership is how the reseller partner, differs from the referral partnership. As I mentioned, of course, marketing campaigns includes press releases, joint go-to-market industry solutions, and even, joint conference attendance. We work with some of our partners. We, do joint conference attendance too. And, of course, present both our technologies and, see how an integrated solution works so much better than, a standalone product. So that's pretty much, what I wanted to cover, with the partner benefits matrix here, and, explain to you how the reseller and referral partners, differ from both ends. We are open to partnerships on both, sides of the program, but, it depends on how it's a fit, how DBSync fits into your ecosystem, how, we can benefit or, basically scale our partnership. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. And post this, I will open up the floor here for any questions that you might have, and, we can jump into some of the questions that you guys might have. And let me open up the floor here. You guys can ask any questions you have.